Hey everyone, it's me, it's Gray, and welcome to episode 8 of my art journey. I'm going to make this one quick, and by this one, not the video, but the commentary that you're hearing right now. I'm going to make this one quick on my end because there's not much to talk about. Where we last left off, I was moving on to drawing more interesting things, in my opinion, which is drawing characters, drawing people, drawing heads to be specific. I want to start off with drawing the head to make sure I can be able to draw it at any angle, from any direction, things like that. The results they're passable, at least in my opinion. Um, it wasn't my first time drawing heads, at least using like a standard art method that you'll see everywhere online, which is draw a circle, then a line down the middle to show where the center of the face would be, and blah blah blah. Uh, so it wasn't as if I was going to doing that completely blind. However, it was still very difficult for me to get that down. This video is basically me just doing that again. I did practice this off camera in hopes that maybe my skills would improve a bit, and I will say that they have. I also drew the mouth. I started drawing mouths just so I can see where things would be. I'm going to make drawing things like the hair and the eyes its own separate video. So after this video, more than likely, for the video coming up on Saturday, the 4th, October 4th, yeah, the 4th, I'm going to just draw uh, just the eyes. I'm just going to draw the eyes. And then I'm going to, later on in the video for next week, I'm going to start drawing the entire face. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's a good way, like what part of the process should I record and what part of the process should I just do off camera. And I want to say that I should start doing, yeah, I want to say I'm going to do the eyes. I think the eyes are a very significant part of the face for obvious reasons. But for things like the nose and the mouth, I'm going to kind of have those be put in like as part of other videos. So for the video on Saturday, I'm going to do just strictly eyes, be able to draw different types of eyes, expressive, different angles. I might end up drawing the nose here and there because the nose is also a good, feature to add when you're trying to figure out how far apart the eyes should be, where they should be in different angles, things like that. So the video on Saturday is just going to be me strictly drawing eyes. This video is just going to be me drawing the face, the head, the skull, plus the mouth and a little bit of the nose. Just for the sake of placement, for the sake of knowing where things should be placed. And I also employed the same strategy that I did in the previous video, which is I'll look at examples of art and characters from like a webcomic that I enjoy reading and that I enjoyed looking at. I wouldn't say I enjoyed rereading it, but the art I fell in love with. Whoever the artist is who made whoever company is in charge of making this webcomic, or whatever artist is in charge of making this particular webcomic, I love what they do. And so I want to try and use that as a basis to help develop my ability to draw heads, the shapes of heads. Of course, there's no tracing, as you can see in this video. I was thinking about doing that, just pasting in an image or a screenshot of the webcomic in question, putting it in like Medibang Paint, and just kind of drawing over it, like breaking it down to its simple shapes of like drawing the circle where I think it would be and whatnot. But I opted out of doing that because I didn't want to develop the habit of copying another person's art style. I just want to use it as a very light reference. Because at some point I want to be able to draw my own. Well, it's kind of there's only so many ways you can draw the human head without dipping into caricatures and whatnot, but you know what I mean. I didn't want to develop a habit of completely taking their art style, or maybe that's what I should do. I don't know. I have no teacher. I have no one telling me what to do, what not to do. I'm just kind of going out the seat of my pants. Also, while we're on this subject, I can't help but notice that a lot of, because I did take a quick gander at the tutorial art videos that do exist on the internet, on YouTube to be more specific. And I have noticed that there is quite a lot of art videos, art tutorials teaching you how to draw anime. Everything from their minimalistic like facial features to the big sparkling eyes and the round like cat-like head, and all these features of an anime face. And yeah, like I enjoy anime as much as the next person. I do. As I said in one of my earliest videos, Dragon Ball was like my favorite show growing up. I enjoyed it so much. And Dragon Ball, I mean, obviously, it has a very unique style, unique art style compared to your typical anime. But I don't know if I want to like. I don't know if I want to go down the route of having my art look like a traditional Japanese like anime. It's Anime is too homogenous in terms of its art style. It's too homogenous. Like, I see the appeal of it, obviously. The characters are very pretty to look at, and whatnot. But it's too homogenous for my liking. I want to create a unique look of my own without it looking like I'm just drawing what could be the background character of the anime of the week or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just me, but I've kind of noticed like, literally 90% of the art videos, art tutorials that I see on the internet are people specifically teaching how to draw anime. Like, it's only anime. The way anime draws their eyes, their noses, their faces, everything from the neck down. I haven't touched on the neck down, like the body proportions. I'm just gonna keep it as PG as possible. Those exaggerated, provocative body proportions, like that's all they teach. And I don't. I'm not trying to become an anime artist. I'm just trying to become a decent artist. Period. Like I'm not trying to learn how to draw your typical long-haired, big, sparkly-eyed, uh, lightly dressed anime girl. I'm just trying to draw a woman, like be able to draw a woman or be able to draw a person. Period. And a lot of these videos, I see them and I just think to myself, yeah, that's cool and all, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm the odd one out. I know anime is probably the reason why so many people even started drawing to begin with. I mean, I'm no exception. Some of my earliest drawings, not all of them, but some of my earliest drawings are of Dragon Ball. And even though Dragon Ball has a unique art style, me, you know, looking at other people weird for wanting to draw anime will be hypocritical on my end because I drew anime growing up. But at the same time, that was like me as like a 5-year old, just, you know, looking at my favorite characters. Like I also drew SpongeBob. I drew, these other cartoon shows that I enjoyed watching growing up. It wasn't just Dragon Ball, and that was just as a fan art. That was basically fan art. Like fan art kind of gets a pass, no, because you're drawing art, of a show that you enjoy. And most fan artists try to make the art as close to the original art style of whatever show that they enjoy as possible. But I want to draw my own look, and yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not trying to go the route of anime. I'm comfortable with using that webcomic in question as a basis for drawing my heads and my skulls because, let's be honest here, the foundation of the human skull is very simple. Like I haven't gone in super detail about facial hair and whatnot. I've just drawn just a simple outline of it. So I'm just using it as a basis, and once I get to the point where I can draw these types of heads easily, then I start adding in my own features, whether it be a bit more realism, whatever the future me decides to do, route the future me decides to go down. But yeah, also, funny enough, as you may notice in the video, I learned the existence of the opacity bar, the opacity tool, where I can draw for one layer like a very rough outline, a very rough sketch of a head, and then I can create another layer on top of this one, and in much darker ink, I can draw on top of it. I swear on everything, I did not know I could do that. Oh man, I had no idea I could do that. I swear on everything. Because Up until now, I've just been using regular. Like I knew the existence of layers, obviously, but I've mostly been using layers as a way of drawing multiple images on the same file without needing to create a whole new file. That was basically about it. Uh, I never knew of the opacity tool where I can just lower, like dim the colors of an art. So that way, when I create another layer on top of it, I can basically follow along and trace it. So that way I can you know clean up the art itself. Which, by the way, doing that is very hard. Like tracing over the rough sketch that I create on like the first layer or second layer of like of this art on this file, tracing over it is very hard. Like I tried many different methods, from slowly going over each line with like dark ink and trying to keep it as you know trying to keep my hand as still as possible. I tried doing the quickly swipe my hand over the page to try and create a quick, swift, straight line. I tried doing the scratching. I don't even know what this is called. Ah, God, I don't even know what words I should be using. I'm a bad commentator. I suck at commentary. As you can tell from my stuttering and my poor grammar, my poor enunciation, I suck at doing commentary. I'm just talking. Basically, tracing over my sketches is very hard. It was more difficult than I thought it'd be, which means that's another thing I need to practice. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it here. God, I said I wanted to make the commentary short, and look at how long I've been talking. Christ. All right, so yeah, this is Gray. This is episode 8. At least, episode 8, and I am out. Peace.